Welcome back. Have you ever wondered why some people are naturally good with money or what influences your spending habits? Apparently, it all comes down to our attitude.
And joining us to explain, authors of the book Spenditude, Janine Robertson and Paul Gordon. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So this is kind of interesting. Like, how does our attitude towards money sort of determine the way we live, really?
Yeah, so interestingly, our attitudes to money form when we're quite young. So actually, as early as age 7. But you see in families, kids with different attitudes, and that's because we have different perceptions of things that happen in our lives. So those attitudes are forming when we're quite young, but they're also changing as we go through life.
So in your book, there are 3 types of people when it comes to spending. Tell us about them.
Okay, there's a spender, a slender and a defender.
Okay, so what are they each?
So the spender is somebody that sort of looks at money as like a transaction. They're not really wedded to it, but they love using it and they love borrowing it. At the other end is the defender. The defender hates waste. Financial security pretty much drives their life. Okay. So they're very structured. At the very right end of defenders are people who are very tight, who don't spend any of their money. I don't know whether you know any of those. And in the middle is a slender. So a slender is somebody that when they do spend, they get really guilty about it. So whereas the spender doesn't really care. And when they get really good at money...
Why is everyone turning to me all of a sudden?
And they also get good with money, but they can't keep it up for long periods of time. So they sort of sit in the middle.
Okay.
I do love to spend, I have to admit, yeah. But I think because I'm classic youngest child, and so, I mean, as a little one, I think you sort of get the hand-me-downs and you get to a point where you're earning your own money perhaps, that it gets to a stage where you kind of go, I'm going to make my own money and I'm going to spend it and enjoy spending it. Is that how you define me?
No, I don't define you that way.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy because everybody's different. As Janine said, if we form our attitudes to money early, it's a whole range of things. It could be our parents, but if you think of siblings that you've got, oftentimes they've got very different attitudes to money to you, yet they've seen the same parent attitude. And being the youngest or the middle, if you're the middle child, I would have understood that because middle childs sort of blame everything on everything.
Yeah. Can you change what type you are?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And should you?
Well, none of them are terrible, right? We all have attitudes to money and sometimes that serves us well and sometimes we should address it and we should increase our awareness so that we can change those attitudes. So in the book we talk about a bit of a pathway that you can follow and some steps that you can take to move towards more of a passion and the things that you enjoy in life and making sure your focus is on the things that brings joy.
So you spend money in the right place?
Yeah.
Well, it's a fantastic read. Thank you, both of you, for coming in this morning. It's called Spenditude. If you're a little bit like Tim and need a bit of help on this one, it's a great read.